All right. So, how many of you have heard the term physical change? Anybody heard that term before? Some of you, some of you are like, I'm not sure. All right, so that's why we're going to do this. How about chemical change? A few of you? Same people probably, because generally when we talk about one, we talk about the other. So someone that's heard of it, can you tell me what it is? What is a physical change?
It's like the change in the appearance or something.
Yeah. A change in the appearance of, I'm going to say, of a material. Is that okay? Make it sound a little more official or something. I don't know. Yeah. The change in the appearance of a material. In a physical change, do you actually change the stuff that a material is made of? No. So you change the appearance of the material, but not the material itself. Can you give me an example of a physical change?
Crushing chalk.
I love it. Absolutely. Crushing chalk. That's a very timely example, in fact. Absolutely. You had that chalk, you smashed it, but by golly, the whole time it's still chalk. What's a chemical change? Come on. What's a chemical change?
Like the elements inside actually change, like something's added or taken.
Yeah, absolutely. So a chemical change, it's kind of the opposite, right? Yeah, it's a change. Oops. In the material, or like the identity, or the, what did you say, Mariana?
I said in like the elements.
The elements, yep. Or the chemicals. That a material is made of. Physical changes you can see. You can actually see that that piece of chalk used to be a solid, like one piece, and now is a smashed mess, right? If you look at something, can you see its like molecular makeup? Not really. And so it's hard to then see a chemical change to actually tell, oh, that molecule has changed from this to this, or that kind of thing, right? It's not something you can see physically, but there are four, actually a few more, but there are four kind of like top exciting changes that one can use to tell, indications to tell that a chemical change has happened. And we're going to do some demos here real quick so you can see a couple of those. And Sophia's going to keep an eye on the time for me so that I can make sure that I'm not missing out. We've got one more thing we have to do as well. So I've got four of them here. We'll see how many we can get to. So number one, I've got a formation of a new substance. I've got a little test tube. Can you guys see this in here? It's just an empty test tube. And I've got two liquids that I'm going to put in. So let me tell you what they are. The first one is, let me find it, silver nitrate. Okay, it's just a clear liquid. So I'm going to add some of that to the test tube here. And then I'm going to add potassium iodide, which is also a nice clear liquid. Okay. So I'm going to add these two together. Clear liquid plus clear liquid gives me, ew. It looks like curdled milk. It's kind of nasty looking. Yeah. That's a chemical change. You with me there? Yeah. Clear liquid plus clear liquid. It's like, yeah, obviously they're not water. Are you with me there, right? Clear liquid plus clear liquid does not equal clear liquid all the time, does it? That clear liquid plus clear liquid equals some solid form. So that's going to be your number one. Formation of a new substance. Formation of a new substance. And you can remind yourself, you don't need to remember the chemical formulas for all this stuff. That I'm not worried about. But if you just want to remind yourself what that was, we had 2 clear liquids. And from them, we got kind of a white, yellow solid. Obviously, formation of a new solid has happened. The second demo that I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to use the one that I did yesterday or last period because it takes a little while for it to happen. So I'm going to just kind of talk you through what I did. So this right here is a test tube that's just got a little piece of zinc in it. It's just a little piece of like a shiny metal. Okay. And I'm going to add, or I did add, hydrochloric acid, which is just a clear liquid. Okay. And I'm going to actually show you the one from the other period because it might be easier to see. And I'm not even sure if you can see it in here. Zoom in. I don't think you can because I think when I picked it up, I popped all the bubbles. There were some bubbles there. So after it sits for a while, there are bubbles that formed. What do the bubbles indicate that is being created? It might be oxygen, but it's definitely some sort of gas, right? So some sort of gas has just been formed. Have you seen any other examples of a gas being formed and a chemical change occurring?
Big chalk.
Yeah, when you put the acetic acid onto the chalk, right? Acetic acid onto the chalk gives you a gas. That's the same deal. So that's number 2. Number 2 is gas produced. Okay, a gas is produced. While you're there writing, go ahead and write down number 3. Number 3 is a color change. Okay? So number 2 is a gas is produced. Another thing that can happen is a color change. And that one, yes, the color change can do this one. The other demo that I'm going to show you will actually show you the color change, and it will also show you number 4. I'm just going to tell you what it is right now. Number 4 is that heat is given off. So if any of these things happen, when you add 2 materials, when you combine one material with another, you know that a chemical change is actually occurring. Okay? A gas is produced, a color change happens, heat given off, or a formation of a new substance. Again, any of those would indicate that you've got a chemical change occurring. I'm going to show you the last one. Don't put your stuff away because we've got one more thing to do, and I've got 1 more minute to do this one. Okay, so in this little test tube right here, there are actually 2 different white powders. Okay, one is calcium chloride. The other one is sodium hydroxycarbonate, I think is how you say that one, but I'm not positive. Either way, we're going to go ahead and put this in. And this is phenol red. So I'm going to add a little, oops, that's really zoomed in. You can't, you're just like looking at the pores of the skin of my hand. That's awkward. Sorry about that. Next. Okay, so here's this white material. Got my red. I'm going to add. Let it kind of do its thing here. What do you see happening?
It's turning pink and it's going.
Yep, so it's got some pink down here. It feels a little bit warm to the touch. It's not like gonna burn me, but it's warm to the touch. And then it's also producing bubbles. And the foam is what color?
Yellow.
Yellow. This has got like everything going on, doesn't it? This is like the big one. Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. So those 3 things combined gave us temperature change, gas, color change, and I would kind of say a new material in there too, but it's hard to tell for sure. Whoa, that little bubble's going to come up. Pop, I'm ready for it to pop. Can you see it? Pop. That's really exciting. Cool. All right. We good? You gonna tell me it's time? Perfect. It's perfect timing. All right. There is one more step that we're going to do today before we move on. Hold on just a second. I'm just going to